Yeah, there's a revolution happening right now, all around us. But it's not loud, it's quiet. It's the rise of autonomous systems. We're talking about robots, drones, and AI agents that are leaving the research labs and stepping out into our world. And honestly, it's all happening a lot faster than you might think.
Remember how ChatGPT just seemed to explode out of nowhere? One day it wasn't a thing, and the next, literally everyone was talking about it? Well, a lot of people in the know are saying we are right on the edge of that exact same kind of tipping point, but for robotics. And you can bet big tech knows it. They're pouring billions of dollars into this space. They see that breakthrough moment coming.
For decades, it felt like true autonomy was always just 5 years away, right? It was always on the horizon. But something's different now. We've quietly but definitely crossed a line. These systems have gone from being cool experiments to being practical, operational, and in a lot of cases, absolutely essential. So let's break down what we're really talking about here. So what even is an autonomous system? Let's keep it simple. It's basically a machine or a program that could look at a situation, figure out what to do, and then, well, do it. The most important part is that it does all this without a human holding its hand the entire time. It's the difference between flying a remote-controlled drone versus one that flies its own mission.
Okay, first up, the category we're all familiar with, robots. These are the physical ones, the ones that have bodies and exist in the real world with us. Think of those giant robotic arms on a car assembly line, a rover on Mars, or those little bots zipping around a giant warehouse. They can sense what's around them, move through space, and get physical work done. Next, we've got drones. And listen, these are not your cousin's remote-controlled toy anymore. A modern drone can be given a complex mission. You can tell it, hey, go inspect that entire bridge for cracks, and it will figure out its own flight path, avoid obstacles, and complete the job, all by itself.
And finally, we have the ghosts in the machine, AI agents. These are basically software robots. They don't have a body, they live entirely in the digital world. But don't let that fool you. They can tackle incredibly complex, multi-step tasks, everything from planning and booking your entire vacation to acting as an autonomous security guard for a computer network. So what this all adds up to is a huge shift in how we work with machines. We're moving away from the old way of micromanaging them, telling a robot, move left, stop, pick up the box. Instead, we're moving to goal-oriented autonomy. We just give it the end goal, like unload that truck, and the system itself figures out all the little steps to get it done.
Okay, so this isn't just theory. Where is this stuff actually working? Right now, today. The answer is, well, it's in more places than you'd probably expect.
Let's start with maybe the most intense proving ground of all, the modern battlefield. The war in Ukraine, for example, has become this incredible accelerator for developing and deploying autonomous systems, mostly out of pure necessity.
And what's really fascinating here is that this innovation is happening right on the front lines. You have soldiers literally assembling ground robots like they're Lego sets, snapping on different parts to customize them for a specific mission, whether that's rescue, logistics, or something else. This is adaptive technology being built and rebuilt in the field.
All right, let's shift gears from the battlefield to the backbone of our economy, the warehouse. Logistics has become this massive driver for automation, pushing the limits of what robots can do just to keep our supply chains from breaking down.
And we're way beyond simple wheeled bots now. Major companies like GXO are already testing humanoid robots. Now, why is that such a big deal? Well, think about it. Our world, our warehouses, our factories, they're all built for people. A robot shaped like a person can work in our spaces without us having to tear down and rebuild everything. That's a total game changer.
Now let's look up, because the sky is also going through a radical change. Aerial autonomy is evolving way beyond simple remote piloting and into something much, much smarter and more independent.
And get this is so cool. There's a new system called Singer that lets a drone understand a command like, go to that red roof over there. And it does it just by using its camera. No GPS, no preloaded maps. It's merging human-style communication with machine vision, making control incredibly intuitive.
Okay, let's step out of the physical world for a moment, because in cyberspace, the robots are just pure code, and they are already handling critical tasks with absolutely no human in the loop.
For example, cybersecurity firms have AI agents that act like autonomous defenders. They are constantly hunting for threats on a network, and when they find one, they can isolate it and respond in milliseconds, way faster than any human operator could ever hope to. So, you have to be asking yourself, why is all of this happening now? What flipped the switch?
Well, it turns out it's not just one thing. It's a perfect storm, a powerful combination of several key technologies all hitting their stride at the same time.
It's really a recipe with a few key ingredients. First, you have agentic AI. That's the brain that lets these systems plan and act. You combine that with huge leaps in computer vision, the eyes, and then you add the secret sauce, edge compute. These are powerful little chips that let all the thinking happen right on the device itself, instantly, no lag time.
And if you want to understand the money behind this, just look at this number. The market for autonomous AI is projected to grow at over 45% every single year for the next decade. To put that in perspective, that is an absolutely insane rate of growth. It makes this one of the fastest-moving tech sectors on the planet.
So now that we see what's happening and just how fast it's all moving, we have to kind of take a breath and ask some really hard but really important questions about the world we're creating.
It really all comes down to this one fundamental question. If an autonomous car crashes, or an AI makes a disastrous financial decision, who's at fault? Is it the owner, the company that made it, the programmer who wrote the code? The honest truth is, our current legal and ethical playbooks just weren't designed to answer that question.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. We have to figure out reliability, the impact on jobs, and of course, the huge debate around autonomous weapons. You have groups pushing for bans on so-called killer robots, while at the same time, military development is speeding up. In almost every one of these areas, the technology is just plain outpacing our ability to regulate it.
So with all that in mind, let's wrap this up by looking just over the horizon. Where is this powerful trend taking us next?
So here's the bottom line. The technology is here, and it's accelerating. We've proven that we can build systems that think and act for themselves. The real test, the one that's going to define this century, is whether we can now build the social, the legal, and the ethical wisdom to manage them. That's the challenge that lies ahead for all of us.